James Madison was born in 1751, in the quiet countryside of Virginia, a place that seemed peaceful on the surface but was quietly filled with tension and uncertainty. His arrival did not cause celebration or excitement. He was small, weak, and often sick, a fragile child in a world that admired strength and loud voices. Many believed he would never amount to much. But beneath his quiet demeanor lived a sharp and restless mind, one that would later shape the destiny of a nation and earn him the title, Father of the Constitution. As a boy, Madison spent most of his time alone. While other children ran freely through the fields, competing and proving their strength, he preferred to sit with books, studying the histories of civilizations that had risen with hope and fallen into ruin. These stories did not inspire him, they frightened him. Again and again, he saw the same pattern. Unchecked power always led to destruction. From an early age, Madison feared ambition more than violence. He observed how quickly people changed once they held authority and how easily good intentions could become cruel or oppressive. His education only sharpened this awareness. Madison studied philosophy, law, and political theory, not to impress others, but to understand why societies succeed or fail. Slowly, a guiding principle took shape in his mind: freedom without limits could destroy itself, and power without restraint would inevitably corrupt. As he grew older, the American colonies began to rebel against British rule. Taxes increased, soldiers occupied the cities, and laws were imposed by a king who neither understood nor cared about the daily struggles of the colonists. Anger spread, and crowds gathered, shouting for liberty and independence. Many found excitement and pride in this movement. Madison, however, felt unease. He supported independence but feared what might come next. He asked a question few others considered: once British rule was gone, what kind of government would keep the new nation from collapsing? The Revolutionary War arrived with violence, uncertainty, and loss. Madison supported the cause of independence, but war never thrilled him. Each victory brought anxiety instead of pride. Leaders rose quickly, crowds followed blindly, and he feared that one wrong move could destroy the fragile hope of a free nation. When independence was finally declared and celebrations filled the streets, Madison remained cautious. The enemy had been removed, but nothing strong existed to hold the new country together. The early years of independence proved his fears correct. Under the weak Articles of Confederation, the new nation struggled. States argued constantly, laws conflicted, and unity began to crack. Madison saw danger clearly: without a stronger system, America could collapse into chaos or fall under a new tyrant. This fear pushed him to Philadelphia for one of the most critical and secret meetings in history, the Constitutional Convention. The convention was full of tension. Windows were sealed, guards patrolled the streets, and every word spoken inside could change the fate of the nation. Some delegates demanded a powerful leader to maintain order, others wanted almost no central authority at all. Voices rose, tempers flared, and trust was scarce. Madison, quiet and unassuming, listened carefully and wrote constantly. He proposed a radical solution: divide power into three branches, executive, legislative, and judicial, so that no single individual could ever dominate. The system was built not on trust in human goodness, but on the careful control of human ambition. Nights brought little rest. Madison feared spies, betrayal, and political sabotage. Anonymous threats warned him to stop. Yet he continued. He believed that carefully chosen words could protect future generations from tyranny. Once the Constitution was completed, the danger had not ended. Many citizens feared it, believing it concentrated too much power in a central government. Madison fought again, this time with words alone. Under pseudonyms, he wrote the Federalist Papers, logical, persuasive essays defending the Constitution. Each essay carried urgency and careful reasoning, convincing skeptical citizens that a balanced central government was necessary for survival. Slowly, the people agreed, and the Constitution was ratified. The nation had survived its first true test. Years later, Madison became President of the United States. But peace did not follow. Europe was engulfed in war, and America was caught between powerful enemies. British forces seized American ships and kidnapped sailors. Pressure mounted daily. Madison faced a terrifying choice: accept humiliation and surrender American rights, or risk destruction through war. In 1812, he chose war. The nation was unprepared, the army was weak, and uncertainty spread like wildfire. Enemies mocked him, and even his allies doubted his judgment. The most terrifying moment came when British troops marched into Washington, D.C. and set fire to the White House. Madison was forced to flee the capital. Watching the city burn, he felt the weight of history and the fragility of the nation he had worked to build. One wrong move, and everything he and his colleagues had fought for could be lost. Yet America endured. Slowly and painfully, the nation survived the War of 1812. When peace returned, the country was wounded but united. Madison did not seek glory or public accolades. He returned to quiet reflection, knowing that the true strength of a nation was not in swords or loud speeches, but in the wisdom and careful planning of its leaders. Madison spent his final years pondering the Constitution and the balance of power. He understood that his system was imperfect but strong enough to survive human weakness. When he died in 1836, he left no throne, no empire, and no dramatic final speech. What he left behind was far greater, a living, breathing constitution that continues to guide America to this day. James Madison's life teaches us that the greatest power often lies not in strength or noise, but in quiet wisdom, careful thought, and the courage to act when the future of a nation hangs by a thread. He was a man whose small frame and gentle voice masked a mind capable of steering an entire country through the dangers of chaos, ambition, and uncertainty, a true hero of history.